It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the first 3 new releases of 2009 on January 9th, 2009. And considering that January is the dumping month for most bad movies, surprise, surprise, we've got 3 bad movies. Some are really bad, some are bad, but not completely as bad as the worst movies that we have here. But yeah, these 3 movies were mostly forgettable, and they were gone pretty quickly after they came out. But we're starting off with the doozy, the big one of them all, the worst of the worst. And what a glorious way to start 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway in Bride Wars.
Of course, every wedding has a story, but the one I'm thinking of isn't about a bride and a groom. It's about a bride and a bride, and it starts at the Plaza Hotel 20 years ago.
My wedding will be the happiest day of my life. I think it's beautiful.
It ain't June.
And it ain't the Plaza.
Are you ready to catch this bouquet?
I'm feeling kind of strange, 'cause of all the things.
Liz, will you marry me?
Yes. We're Marion's 1 o'clock, and we're each other's maids of honor.
I had 3 openings at the Plaza. 2 the 6th, 1 the 27th.
Oh, my parents' anniversary's the 6th. It's so meant to be.
Oh, then I'll take the 27th.
You want to discuss this with the grooms?
No.
That's good for
Isn't
you.
that gorgeous? Oh my God. It's stunning.
Maybe I should keep looking.
Get the dress. Marion.
Your wedding dates have been booked on the same day. Which one of you wants to choose another venue?
What?
One of us will just have to get married on a different day.
One of us will have to be flexible.
Well, one of us can look at different venues.
Yeah, one of us could.
It's crazy. They haven't spoken for like a week. It's like a century in girls' ears.
You send out your save the dates?
Surprised?
Your wedding better watch it. If I were your wedding, I'd be sleeping with one eye open.
You're right. Your wedding will be huge, just like your ass at prom. Your wedding can suck it. Just a pre-wedding glow.
Wow. What the hell happened to you?
A little spray tan surprise.
We can't ignore this. That way the terrorists win.
Make sure it's not so ashy. My hair's blue! It's blue!
Wait!
The clothes are gonna have to come off.
Fletch didn't think it was that bad.
Well, honey, he's your fiancé. He probably thought your hair looked nice, too.
Oh my God, this movie. You know, it's not a very good sign when you had a critic at the time this movie came out literally saying that if this film does not end up on my worst of the year list for 2009, then I will quit my job. No joke. BBC 5 Radio's critic there, Mark Commode, was notably harsh on this movie and literally said on his show that if Bride Wars did not end up on his top 10 worst films of the year, he would quit film criticism. And sure enough, at the end of the year, there it was at number 8 on the list behind Terminator Salvation and Couples Retreat. But yeah, it's a movie so bad that it made people want to quit film criticism if it didn't end up on the worst of the year list. And really, from the look of it alone, I mean, just everybody involved in this movie should be doing so much more than this, and just, this is bad. This is a really, really bad movie. You have 2 childhood best friends played by Anne Hathaway and Kate Hudson who have many plans they made many plans together for their respective weddings, turning into sworn enemies in a race to get married first when their wedding planner, Candice Bergen, accidentally puts them on the same day by accident, and now they can't do it because the next time they want to put a date on there, they have to get it 3 years down the road. So apparently in the time it took them to get the 2 dates to start with, which is basically about a week or so, 3 years worth of weddings got set up then. That's the beginning of the many, many problems with this movie, because the logic in this movie makes no sense whatsoever. Nothing about this movie makes any sense whatsoever from the way these two act. Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway are two great actresses. I mean, they have been Academy Award nominated actresses. Anne Hathaway has won an Oscar for Les Miserables. And you can say what you want, but this is the movie that probably killed her chances of winning an Oscar for Rachel Getting Married. I feel like this movie did for Anne Hathaway what Lorber did for Eddie Murphy, what Movie 43 did to Hugh Jackman. You know, when you make a bad movie it comes out at award season time, somebody's trying to sabotage your chances of getting this. But then again, you shouldn't have taken this movie in the first goddamn place. Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway are such horrible people in this movie. All they care about is getting married. Not just getting married. No. That would make them somewhat normal. But no, they want a wedding at the Plaza Hotel. It's got to be at the Plaza Hotel, and it has to be in the month of June. Why? Because every bride has to have the perfect wedding. And yeah, I get it. Bridezillas is a thing that people like to watch on TV all the time, but I don't watch reality television, and because I'm a sane person, and I don't want to root for somebody that I'm supposed to hate. I don't want to root for somebody I hate that I'm supposed to get behind. And yeah, this movie is exactly that. And it doesn't help that these two are psychotic stalkers. Like the way that they force their boyfriends to pop the question. Like Kate Hudson, literally, when she finds the wedding ring, runs over to his office and basically just begs him, you know, why won't you marry me? I saw the ring. Get me married. It's just like, it's like a toddler. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, what is the point of all of this? Like at that point, the dude should have just said, you know, we need to take a break because you are freaking me the fuck out right now. But hey, to their credit, the grooms are never seen for a majority of the movie. Like, they are literally out of the movie for a good 80% of the film. And yeah, it's weird because it's just like the movie's focusing on the brides. The grooms barely show up in the goddamn movie. And even then, you never believe the relationships between them and the grooms they're about to marry. They feel like they want to get married just for the sake of getting married. And again, it doesn't help that these two are acting like psychotic stalkers who really just want to bang themselves at this point. Because I swear to God, there's literally points in the movie where you feel like this is going to turn into a lesbian romance between Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway, which really could have made the movie a whole lot better. But then you look at the rating and realize, oh wait, this was rated PG. Why is it rated PG? Because the Motion Picture Association of America didn't screen this fucking movie. That's the reason why I think this movie got a PG rating, because there is nothing in this movie that is different than the PG-13 romantic comedies, which are much better and much more enjoyable than this piece of garbage right here. This is an abortion of a movie. This is my second worst movie I saw in 2009, behind another bad comedy that we'll get to at the end of the year. But seriously, fuck Anne Hathaway and Kate Hudson in this movie. Fuck all these characters in this movie. You took great actors and wasted them on this pile of shit. You took a great director in Gary Winnick who did 13 going on 30, and you forced him to make this movie. And it's just like, and Charlotte's Web too. Like, this is a good director. What the hell happened here? Like, you don't care about anybody in this movie, and you especially don't care about the women in this movie because they're acting like spoiled crybabies because of a fucking wedding date. You don't feel sorry for them. You just want to punch the shit out of them for acting like idiots. And I know you shouldn't punch women. I don't want anybody to get the idea that you should do that by any means necessary. Do not punch a woman. I mean, that's basic common knowledge there. But I'm sorry, this movie made me want to do that, and I should not have to feel like that. But yeah, you shouldn't feel that way at all, but that's how you feel after watching this movie. There's nothing clever about it or cute. It's so mean-spirited and painful to watch. This movie was an abortion to sit through. In a year where I had so many bad comedies in 2009, so many bad movies this year that made my list in here. I mean, we haven't got to one of the other movies I've ever walked out on. We haven't gotten to Year One yet. Old Dogs, like All About Steve. This was a bad year for comedies, even though this year had some good comedies we'll get to. But yeah, this was just a disaster. It's so bad I'm burping at the thought of me thinking about this movie again. I just had pizza for dinner before this. So that's why it's a good pizza, by the way. Shelley Pie Pizza. If you ever come out to Monroeville, Pennsylvania, or Turtle Creek, definitely go there, or Vincent's too, because it's basically the same pizza. I personally like Vincent's better, but Shelley's is pretty good. But you don't want to hear me talk about food. You want to hear me talk about this garbage movie. I'd rather talk about pizza than talk more about this movie. But really, there's not much more I can say about it. As I said, it's so mean-spirited. It's so painful to watch. It's an abortion. Like, this is an unbelievable mess of a movie. Like, I could not believe that somebody greenlit this and thought that this was A-okay, because, my God, what a disaster. What a disaster. And believe it or not, it at least gets better from there, because we've just looked at the worst movie of the week. Here's the second worst movie of the week, The Unborn.
Hey, there's something wrong with your eye.
One iris is a different color than the other, which happens occasionally when you're dealing with twins.
I'm an only child.
The co-writer of The Dark Knight.
Am I twin dead?
You would have had a brother. He died when you were both in the womb.
This is gonna sound crazy. I'm being haunted by something.
January 9th. This thing is trying to use you as a doorway. Witness the birth.
How do I stop it?
The Unborn. Rated PG-13. January 9th.
Or let's just call it what it really is, a Gen X version of Rosemary's Baby with Odette Yustman showing off her ass. Not just in the movie, that is literally the poster. I mean, here. There it is right there. Like, that's the reason why this movie has any notoriety to it, because of that. If that's what you really try to sell your movie off of, then chances are your movie ain't that fucking good. But like I said, Odette Yustman from Cloverfield stars as a younger woman who's tormented by a Dybbuk and seeks help from a rabbi played by Gary Oldman. And the Dybbuk seems to use her death as a gateway to physical existence. So like I said, it's Rosemary's Baby again. It's a younger version of Rosemary's Baby, except not as scary, not as intimidating or terrifying, and just prove that maybe David S. Goyer should probably stay away from directing movies. And this is his movie he wrote too, so basically this is just a bad move in general to do this altogether. This was the last thing he directed too, so he went back to writing, which is the reason why he became known in the first place. But yeah, this movie is a disaster. I mean, this is a terrible movie. It's essentially just, like I said, a Gen X version of Rosemary's Baby. It's literally a movie where, it's the same premise as Rosemary's Baby, except she's not giving birth to the devil. She's giving birth to some supernatural creature, but it just isn't scary. Nothing about this movie is scary. It's your typical modern day jump scares, and it's all over the movie. There's nothing intimidating. There's nothing terrifying. All you're doing by watching this movie is just wasting your time and thinking that you're going to see some ass or some boobs on the screen. I mean, like I said, the poster literally is telling you, come see the movie not to be scared, but take a look at this woman's ass. There's a reason why we have the internet, people. That's the reason why. So you don't go see garbage films like this. So, yeah, you can go ahead and avoid The Unborn like the plague. So, with that said, let's get to the best movie of the week, and that is Not Easily Broken.
Are you gonna hoop later?
Yeah.
Good. I feel a little spare tire.
On January 9th, experience a story about the times that keep us real. You guys think I'm getting fat?
Yes, your butt. Big is bigger.
Morris Chestnut, Taraji P. Henson, Kevin Hart, and Jennifer Lewis. From best-selling author T.D. Jakes. Directed by Bill Duke. Not Easily Broken.
I love you. I don't tell you enough.
Dre, are you crying?
What? You right. I probably had enough.
Yeah.
I probably had too many.
Rated PG-13, January 9th.
I mean, a better movie for Kevin Hart than Extreme Movie was. I'll give him that. And you've got people I like in here. Morris Chestnut, Taraji P. Henson, Eddie Cibrian, Jennifer Lewis, Niecy Nash. In the film, you have a couple, Dave and Clarice Johnson, who've reached a breaking point in their marriage. And when Clarice is injured in a car crash, her mother, Mary, intervenes. Mary, played by Jennifer Lewis. The obvious truth that more than just her injuries need immediate attention is exposed. Clarice begins to be treated by Julie, played by Maeve Quinlan, a physical therapist, and Dave develops a friendship with Julie and their young son, Bryson being played by Canon J. The acceptance and comfort Dave finds in the two stirs his longing for a family and passionate partner. When Bryson unexpectedly dies in a swimming accident, Dave and Julie's relationship grows closer as Clarice pulls farther away. So you get the idea here. It's a movie we've kind of seen before, done to death in so many occasions. This is based off of a book by T.D. Jakes, who actually did make a movie that was associated with one of his works that was pretty good, and that was Jumping the Broom, which came out 2 years after this. A really good movie, which we'll definitely get to that when we get to that. But of all the films that we've talked about on the show, this one is the one that comes the closest to being a good movie. Is it? No. Its biggest flaw is that it's a very melodramatic movie, but you've got good people in here. I mean, you can never go wrong with Kevin Hart when you put him in the funny movie, when you put him in a good role. And Kevin Hart's pretty good in here. For the few times he actually gets some moments in here, it actually does work. And you know me and Taraji P. Henson. Anytime she's in anything, I'm there, man. That's my girl right there. Not really my girl, but I like seeing her in a lot of movies. But Morris Chestnut's always a great actor too. I mean, it's good actors in this movie trying to elevate very much melodramatic soap opera stuff. And Bill Duke is a good director. Bill Duke has, of course, made a lot of great movies. Of course, he's made A Rage in Harlem, Deep Cover. You know, he also did, what's the most recent film he did that I like? I think maybe it was Deep Cover. Because, yeah, it's been a while, because I'm looking at some of the other films he's done. The Cemetery Club, I don't remember too much about. Sister Act 2, I didn't think was that good. Hoodlum, not bad, but not great either. I think, really, his two best films came in the early part of his career with A Rage in Harlem and Deep Cover. And maybe this is probably his third best film overall. I'd have to go back and look at that, per se. But, yeah, this is a film that, it's not a great movie. I'm not even going to say it's one you should check out. But compared to the other two movies we looked at, this movie's like an Academy Award contender compared to Bride Wars and The Unborn. Like that, this is not a good week for movies. And to say that this is a film that is actually somewhat tolerable, somewhat passable, I guess I could say that in particular, but it really is a movie where there would literally have to be nothing else on TV or anything to watch on DVD or Blu-ray to get you to watch this again, to watch this one time around. Because, yeah, I watched it once. I never really want to watch it again, per se. Not because it's bad, because I don't really feel like there's enough warrant there to watch it all over again. So, yeah, mixed opinion, but not bad, but not great either. Not easily broken. And so on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. We jump into Martin Luther King Jr. weekend next time around with 4 movies, including the biggest surprise hit I think I've seen in a long, long time at that point. Kevin James and Paul Blart Mall Cop, which is basically a PG version of Die Hard, and not a good one either. I mean, we'll talk about that one in particular, but we also have My Bloody Valentine 3D, which is not notable for the slashings, but more of the 3D, which again we'll delve into when we get to that one. Notorious, which is the biopic about Notorious B.I.G. and probably is the best overall film that we have coming our way next week. And also Hotel for Dogs with Emma Roberts, a Nickelodeon movie which also features Don Cheadle and Lisa Kudrow among its cast. So we'll take a look at all 4 of those movies. That'll be coming up tomorrow on the show. But until then, thank you so much for watching. And if you saw this video and you did like it and want to see more of them, please go ahead and hit the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button, and the bell. That's where you get updates on when new videos come out. And we do post new videos here every day. So I am taking a break this week for Time About the Movies Flashback. It'll be back next Friday because I'm working Steel City Con, as you can see from my little band right here that they have us wear, because that just shows you that you're one of the vendors. So no Time About the Movies Flashback this week. That'll be coming up next Friday. So, with that said, I'll see you guys next time. And until then, as always, take care.